back to my channel, how are you? On today's video, I'll resume talking about my favorite books. This time, it will be drumrolls, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I forgot to mention in my latest video that I got a microphone, so please leave some feedback on this matter. And also, I'd like to confess the real reason why I decided to read Crime and Punishment. Well, not the dumbed down version at least. It is because of anime. I saw an anime called Bungo Stray Dogs. It's basically a writers' convention and the writers work either at a detective agency or at the mafia. It sounds weird, but it's really good. And there's an alternative universe, Fyodor Dostoevsky there. And I thought maybe this is a sign that I should finally read it. And it seems that the gods of anime were on my side because I loved it so much that now I have 3 versions of it. 4 actually. One at my grandma's. And the versions are this one, and this one. About the author, Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky was born 11 November 1821 in Moscow. He was a Russian novelist, short story writer, essayist, philosopher, and journalist. His literary works investigate human psychology in the troubled social, political, and spiritual atmosphere of 19th century Russia. Claimed works include Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, Demons, and the Brothers Karamazov. I won't go into much detail into his life, but there's a particular incident that I would like to mention. In 1849, Dostoevsky was arrested as a member of the socialist Petroshavsky Circle and suffered 4 years in a Siberian prison settlement, followed by another 4 years of enforced military service. But wait, there's more to it. After 8 months of imprisonment, he was taken to Semyonovsk Square to be shot. In a letter to his brother, he says, "Thereupon we were bound in 3 stakes to serve for execution. Being the 3rd in a row, I concluded I had only a few minutes of life before me. Suddenly, the troops beat a tattoo. We were unbound, brought back upon the scaffold, and informed that His Majesty had spared us our lives." Published in 1866, Crime and Punishment is one of those universal novels that paved the way for tragic literary realism of modern times. It tells the story of an impoverished ex-student, Rondia Raskolnikova, who kills a pawnbroker and her sister. What at first seems like cold-blooded murder discloses an even more complex plotline, in which the main character is compelled to face the real motives of his crime. The truth is, it was an impulsive and emotional act. Raskolnikov theorized that there were 2 types of men, the ordinary and the extraordinary. The ordinary man has to live in submission and has no right to transgress the law because he is ordinary, whereas the extraordinary man has the inner right to commit any crime and to transgress the law. They are extraordinary because they have gifts, talents, and shape civilizations forward to new heights of achievements. Murder will be the final exam to see whether Raskolnikov was extraordinary or ordinary. And he passed. He got away with the murder, but by chance. This led him to question whether he was truly capable or worthless. Raskolnikov's feelings weren't painful beautiful. They weren't excusable. They couldn't justify murder, but they were real. Dostoevsky was able to understand firsthand what this feeling of dread was, and he was able to translate it into everywhere. This is the main reason why this book is so great. He wrote a vindictive, narcissistic character, but it was necessary. We needed a character that was selfish, that believed he was better than the others. This showcases how humans aren't good or likable all the time. They can suck too. This led him to explore more diverse facets of human psychology, the shakes and distortions like no other writer of his time, thus creating a work of immense artistic value, deservedly worshipped at all parts of the world. Raskolnikov's inner conflict and realism is the exact reason why I believe this is the best ending I have ever read. And what's even more satisfying to read than this ending is the epilogue, where he doesn't get the redemption arc we were hoping him to. Well, at least not in the way we would expect it. I have no words to explain how gratifying it was that he didn't become a hero overnight. That some part of him still believed that he was right, and the other was filled with disgust. Disgust of himself, of failing, of his crime. It was true to his character. At the very end, it was as if something gigantic happened. It wasn't a 50-page monologue explaining how he was good now. It was a simple phrase, but Raskolnikov knew, and the reader too, that someday everything would be better. But, as the last sentence of the novel said, this might be the subject of a new story, but our present story ended. Now my criticism. I believe I never mentioned this before, but I extremely dislike reading third-person perspective. I feel too detached from the characters, but this isn't the case at all. It's painfully clear how terror and anguish fueled Raskolnikov. It's also quite fun to see how the characters differ from each other based on the POV. For example, its speech patterns, mannerisms. What bugs me the most are the different plot lines. It's so confusing. And also, there's excessive symbolism. And this shouldn't be a problem, but you need to search every passage, you need to reread countless times to fully grasp what is happening. And the characters, some characters are written in metaphors, so they represent something bigger. And also, there are excessive long paragraphs, like 10 pages paragraphs. It's so long and exhausting to read it. It left me demotivated. This is more common at the beginning of the book, when it's too slow, but with the end of part 2, it picked the perfect pacing. The rise of the tension left me disgusted and fascinated, and this means I couldn't put it down. Thanks for watching, folks, and that's it. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any book requests, please write them down in the comments. Bye!